Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Average Joe and Dad, and today we'll be talking about pretty much everything.
Or nothing at all.
Yeah.
We've had 2 weeks off. I say 2 weeks off. Just not a whole lot to talk about. My phone was down. Got it fixed. Apparently, I had a lot of debris in the charging port, is what the guy told me, which is why my charging cables would not work. And I guess that's what you get when you throw your phone on the ground when you're turkey hunting. A whole bunch. You want to dive into turkey hunting, or you want to talk about everything else and then go into that?
Everything else, and then go into it.
All right. Well, we'll start with this because I was informed that we should inform everybody that you're homeschooled.
Yes.
Which is kind of fun, which allows us to, go turkey hunt and go do things and all that other kind of stuff. So tell me about that. You've been homeschooled your entire life, right?
Yeah, I've only been in two, public schools.
You only been what?
In two, pretty much public schools.
You've been into public schools? What does that mean?
It means I've only been in two real schools, and then I went into homeschool.
Those weren't real schools and they weren't public schools. You went to like a mother's morning out when you were like 2 at a
They
church.
still taught me stuff.
And then you went to another, same thing. So yeah, I'm sorry, those were not public schools, son.
Well, I didn't.
Oh yeah, I know. You don't know any different. But yeah, you're homeschooled. What grade are you in?
4th.
All right. And how many days a week do you meet with your homeschool class?
1.
Yeah. So tell me about it.
We pretty much just do every type of subject, and
You got to speak loud. You sound like a little bitty mic in the microphone. Speak up. Clear your chest. Say it with your chest.
What?
Say it with your chest. Start talking right.
So yeah, we pretty much learn, and we have recess like normal schools. We don't have PE though.
Well, you have recess, but one day a week and you have PE,
which is Tuesday.
But yeah, I guess I'll fall in the details. It's a homeschool program that he does, and they meet once a week. But he does schoolwork every day.
Yeah.
And against his will, I try to tell him how good he has it, but he doesn't know how good he does. But anyway, I was informed that I need to say that so people just don't think he never goes to school. He is actually homeschooled, so he's in school all the time.
Yep.
So you got that. We're hot and heavy in baseball.
We have one more week until games.
Yeah. Are you sick? You sound sick.
I don't know.
You sound just. I mean, you were loud as all get out before we started recording, and now you're like a little bitty mice in the microphone. So
now my mice in the microphone.
That's much better. That's what I want to hear the rest of the time. But yeah, we're hot and heavy in baseball. We have one more week before games. Had a scrimmage game. This would be 10U.
10U?
Yeah, they call it 10U because you're turning 10 in May. What positions are you playing?
Catcher and shortstop.
Yeah, maybe a little bit pitching if we need you, but catcher and shortstop. Looks like you may be batting leadoff too.
Yeah. I mean, catcher needs to so they can rest and get ready.
Just to chip off the old block. I was a switch hitting catcher that batted leadoff. So we're almost there. You like to bat left-handed and right-handed?
Yeah, I've never really hit left-handed in a game yet, though.
You did once.
When?
Remember I let you? And I think you either walked or hit it to the shortstop. That was during coach pitch. But it wasn't too bad. So looking forward to that. We start not next week, but the week after with games. And it's like 1 or 2 games a week all the way through May. And
we get to play into my birthday?
Before that, which really kind of messes up with my turkey travel. I say that I've got it scheduled out to where I can still go all the places and I shouldn't miss a game, which is good. I was afraid I was going to miss some going to Florida and Kansas and anywhere else I end up. But yeah, that's fun. We have, 2 practices a week. Unfortunately, the weather down here has been just pretty ridiculous. And I think since the start of our practice schedule, we've at least had 1 practice rained out every week.
But it's always Monday because we have it Monday and Tuesday, and it's always been Monday.
Yeah, every Monday practices are normally getting rained out.
And we're practicing on turf fields, and it would rain the day before really, really hard, and they would say we can't do practice because the fields are wet.
Yeah,
what in the world?
It's turf on the infield, but the outfield's still grass and mud. So that's part of it. They're pretty stringent on the rules on when they play. So Like, we've had full on sunny days on a Monday, and they've canceled it because there's so much rain over the weekend. So anyway, it's kind of a pain, but we've been having a couple makeup practices on Wednesday. Got a big team this year, 13 kids.
Yeah. Like,
It's
what in the world?
yeah, it's almost too many. But yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
Almost too many? A baseball team only needs 9 players.
I know. It's always nice to have a few backups, but so we got that going on. I think before, I guess since the last episode that we aired, me and Joe have gone full send on sports cards.
I
When I was his age, I used to collect them. I say collect them.
was just messing with them, sorting through them, and getting all our rookies and future stars and stars in MLB out of the regular ones.
You got to speak up again. You're back to your little whiny mouse voice. But yeah, we've gone full send. I thank a good buddy of mine for turning me on to it. Which
Yeah, Mom has been getting on to us.
yeah, but we've been collecting football and baseball cards. We've had some good ones. I didn't know this, and me and Joe have discovered this together. I kind of thought sports cars had died. Like, there wasn't a lot of people doing it. There's people waiting in line for these things at
Yeah.
Walmart when they get restocked. We were one of them once just by accident. So yeah, people waiting in line, and like the shelves are getting raided.
Like, we'd be there one day, we would grab one of each thing we wanted. Next day we come, nothing.
And we don't go back to back many days, but it's like, oh, I'll go grab another one of those. That was a fun box to open. Or what do you call it?
Huh?
When you open a box, what's it called in the trading world?
Rip them.
Yeah, you gotta rip them. We do some truck ripping, where we open them in the truck. But
Our first Jaden Daniel was in the truck.
yeah, you learn that like you're chasing rookies and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't know these people are just ransacking the shelves. I mean, we've been able to find them at Walmart, Target, Books A Million. I've heard stories of them being in other places, but where we're at, that's about all we can find. But it's been fun. The other thing is, I remember collecting cards when I was 9, and I had no idea that they've gotten so expensive.
Yeah, and I get all the cards that I want, like Joe Burrow and all those.
Yeah, or you Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens and stuff like that.
And Shohei Ohtani and
Unless
Freddie Freeman.
unless they're numbered or really fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're incredibly expensive. I mean, to buy not a pack, but a box of cards is anywhere from like
$59
Yeah.
to like $6.
was $69. Yeah, like a pack is like 7 to 15 depending on the tag or the pack. Then I never knew this, but then you have hangers and blaster packs and boxes and mega boxes and hobby boxes and this and that. And I'm like, since when did it get that serious?
Football Chrome Mega Boxes are like almost $60.
Yeah, Topps Chrome Megas. But anyway, so we've been down that rabbit hole and we have cards falling out of our ears. And, we've hit, what did we hit the other day? Didn't we hit
We hit a jersey signed card.
yeah, a numbered jersey signed card out of just was that a blaster? I don't know. Anyway, I won't bore you with all that, but it's gotten so bad that we've been watching videos of people opening cards.
Whoa. It was mostly Dad, and he's calling Patrick Mahomes Patty Mahomes now.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is when you get into anything, you gotta educate yourself, and I've been out of the game a long time, like 20 years. So, you gotta educate yourself on where to do that. Watch people who know what they're doing talk about it on YouTube or Instagram or whatever.
I don't know how they pull good cards after good cards.
Well, they're also opening cases at a time, so I've been educating myself on that because if we do rip a good card, you gotta know about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been doing that. That's been fun. Joe went to his grandparents last week or a week before and made me a neck pillow.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty fun. It's what's on there? Elk and camouflage.
Yes.
So it's an elk, like what is that fabric that has elk on it?
Yes, it's like a fleece fabric.
And it's a stuffed neck pillow, and it's got camouflage on the
No,
other
not
side.
fleece flannel, my bad.
Flannel, yeah. But that's really cool. I mean, it's really clean and looks just like a neck pillow. So he did a good job on that.
Then I made him an unstuffed heart that I embroidered his name on, or a D on, because that's the beginning of his name. And embroidery is when you take the thread on the sewing machine and you just sew until it gets thick enough and you can see that it's a letter or something, whatever you're trying to embroider.
Yeah, apparently you kind of played off that idea from Mama. And
Yeah, but she's never truly done it. She
yeah,
just did like paws
but
on a bear.
you've been running the sewing machine.
Yeah.
Did you get one up and running for yourself now?
Oh yeah, it's from the 50s.
Tell me about it.
It's called a Pfaff. It's a German sewing machine, and we saw one at an estate sale and we bought it. It didn't work, and my grandmother has the same exact machine. It's a Pfaff, not a Pfaff. And then she bought a motor for mine's because the motor wasn't working. They put on the motor and now it works.
So you got your own sewing machine from the 1950s.
Yep.
How does that make you feel?
And it only likes a certain type of thread that's actually German, and I can't remember what it's called.
That sounds way too picky.
Mhm.
Shouldn't it take all thread?
No.
No, that's not how that
Mm-mm.
works.
Nope, not at all.
What were you gonna fix for me? My gloves have a
Yeah.
hole in them. You said you're gonna take them and sew them up for me.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna hand sew those though.
Well, that's fine. And you were using them, so you put the hole in it.
No, I didn't.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I got that going on. I got a I got a whole bunch of deer processing weighing on me that I need to do.
Oh yeah.
I need to go pick up some pork fat to cut it with. I got hundreds of pounds of meat in the freezer I gotta do.
We have
I'm
what?
literally looking at my processing kit right now.
Yeah,
It's on a
he
metal
is.
table. Thinking about it. I mean, trying to think what all we got over there to do.
Don't we have like 3 freezers full of deer meat?
We
Or
do.
just 2?
Yeah. No, we got 3. I think I got the bearded butchers. I think I got some more bacon. I got
Oh
some
yeah.
more breakfast sausage. Got another summer sausage to do. I think I got some jerky in there, got some snack sticks in there, got some stuff to do patties with, and then probably 100 pounds of just regular ground meat, maybe more. And there's some other stuff in there I gotta see, but do all those in 25-pound batches and smoke those out. It should be good. So I need to do that. That's kind of weighing on me, but it's turkey season. I was hoping we'd come back and do this podcast and we'd be like, oh, let's hear all these turkey stories. We got all this good stuff to tell you. It's been a great turkey season.
It's been a
Yeah, it has been as Joe says, it's been rough. I looked it up yesterday or today, and since youth season opened on March the 8th, and this is hot off the press. We're going to release this today. It is Friday, March the 28th, and it's around 10:15 in the morning. So hot off the press. I've been in the woods. I'm sorry, the season has been open 21 days. And what I mean by season is youth season. So that starts March the 8th. They get a week, and then regular season starts March the 15th in Mississippi. And I have been in the woods 16 out of 21 days since March the 8th. And that's in some capacity of morning hunts, midday hunts, mid afternoon hunts, late afternoon hunts, mid morning. I mean, just it's a little bit of all of it. And that is bouncing over from part of the property to other part of the
I
property.
mean, we're doing this podcast after he got back from turkey hunting.
Correct. And I've been doing everything I know on this piece of land I can hunt to find turkeys.
Yep.
And I was starting to really question my decisions. I haven't been bringing Joe along since the regular season because honestly, there's nothing to bring him along for. I mean, I wasn't even seeing turkey tracks. And I was really getting down in the dumps, I guess you could say, because it's, a lot of hours, a lot of walking, a lot of listening, a lot of looking. And it wasn't till, what was yesterday? Thursday?
Yesterday was Thursday.
Thursday, March the 27th was the first day all year I've heard a turkey gobble.
And also the day before, he had a picture of a turkey when he would have been there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah, so I have one camera out and it has not taken a picture in forever. It hasn't had a turkey on camera since February the 28th. And Wednesday was actually a beautiful morning. And it was a beautiful day.
Did you not go because we had baseball practice?
No, I did not go because my alarm did not go off. And so, yeah, my alarm didn't go off, which happens. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to take a day off. It's been absolutely brutal. I did, hours and hours and hours of moving around the day before. I probably walked 3 or 4 miles just trying to get something. struck up. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hang close on Wednesday. Well, I'll be 11:54 a.m. There was a gorgeous
Long beard.
long beard, full strut in front of my camera, and I was set up 30 yards from that camera the day before at 11:50. But I was happy and sad. I was sad I wasn't there, but I was happy to at least know there's a turkey around.
Yeah, but he is henned up.
He is very much henned up because the picture before that was 3 hens. But I digress. I haven't heard a turkey, hadn't seen it. I finally saw a track within the last week. It's just been brutal, and I know there's turkeys around, but I saw
But
that
do
one.
you though?
Yeah, I do. I saw that one on camera and got out there the next morning, and I'll be darned, he started hammering. The only downside to that was he was about 1,000 yards off our property, which this is kinda new to me too, and I told you, we've alluded to it many times that we've lost part of our deer camp.
A lot.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of it, and, I could probably take you to the section he was sitting in. I was looking at OnX and looking at where he was. He was about 1,000 yards, maybe 1,100 yards, and he would have been on the old property. So last year, I would have snuck around and got in there. Yeah, hopefully, right? But this year, all I could do was just sit there and listen. I couldn't get in there and go get him.
You couldn't be like, move out, move out.
Yep, couldn't do that. So I had to sit and listen and just hope he would, try to pull them back on our property that we could hunt. We went back and forth a little bit because he would actually respond to a gobble, but he was pretty far away. It sounded like he closed a little bit when he got down, and then next thing you know, he's further away and then further away.
Are you sure he wasn't just turning in the tree?
Yeah, he was on the ground because he was going till about 7:15. And what I was hoping was is he was kind of on the high point, kind of a if you look at a topo map, he was on the highest point in that section, and I know where it was. It's kind of a pine thicket on a ridge, and he was probably roosted up over there. And the way they do is they kind of funnel down that pine thicket to where the land is we can hunt, which is by a creek, has a bunch of oak trees, has some hardwoods, and they kind of move back and forth and feed. So I normally like to move around. I don't like to sit as much, but the only play that I could have had on this bird is to kind of hunker down and hope to cross his path and strike him up every now and then. And I sat there to probably 10:30, and I was like, I'm gonna run home, grab a bite to eat, get back. I think I was back by I got down. I left at about 10, and I got back by 11. And I actually took a decoy with me called a thunder chicken. A lot of times when a mature gobbler sees that, I've had him just come straight in because it's like a thunder chicken is a really
Jake.
bad looking Jake. And I've never seen a gobbler look at it and not come into it because they hate Jakes. So I set that up, and it's kind of like a strut zone. It's a kind of a field road type thing, and I sat there from 11 and kept going, but and it was nothing. But about 1:15, I hear, in my opinion, I was like, "Oh, it's on," but he's still off our property because normally if I can get one gobbling in the afternoon, they're coming in, and he gobbled and he gobbled and he gobbled, and I have a creek behind me, probably about 75 to 100 yards. And I'll be darned, he actually circled behind me, and I don't think he ever stepped foot on our property. I think he was on the other side of the creek, and I'm just yeah, and he's gobbling. And about 2:15, he's been going for an hour, but he would get closer, and then he'd get further away, closer and then further away. And next thing I know, he's going from my right at about say 4 o'clock to gobbling at 8 o'clock on my left side. So he circled all the way around from behind me. But at one point, it sounded like he was kinda committed, and I wasn't overcalling or anything, but a few times, he would gobble, and I'd cut him off and start cutting at him, and man, that would fire him up, and he'd gobble, and he'd gobble, and he'd gobble, and I wouldn't touch a call and just let him go, and you sound like you get close, then you get further away, and you get a little bit closer, and you get further away, and then further away, and he gobbled till 3:15, and every time, he just got a little bit further, and further, and further, and further. Yeah. Wait, they can't hear you when you talk like that. They can't hear. There you go. So yeah, he about 3:15. I didn't hear much, and he was way, way off our property. I kind of had the idea where he was, so I grabbed everything and went running around the property. Had to kind of go on the outskirts of our property and circle back to try to get on that corner to try to strike him up over there because that would have been closer to where he was at, and didn't hear anything. So it was a long day yesterday. No turkeys, but was definitely re-energized to hear it gobble for the first time all
Are you
year.
in the A section or F section?
The F section, yeah. Our properties, our camp is laid out into like 40-acre grids, and they all have a letter, so that way you can sign in for it. Yeah, I was in the F section, but I kind of felt good about it because it was going to be, it's 4 or 5 o'clock. I had a general area of kind of where he was, and thought he'd be roosted over there. So I jumped out there this morning and got out there bright and early. And of course, yesterday was a beautiful sunny day. It was warm, not a ton of wind. Pressure was nice. Today it's horribly overcast. Pressure's kind of dropping, and didn't really hear much. It wasn't until about 6:45, which yesterday he started hammering about 6:10, 6:15. Yeah. But about 6:45, I finally heard a gobble, and I'll be darned, it was actually nowhere near where he should have been roosted. It was back further off our property on the other side.
You should see Dad's hand motions right now.
Yeah, and he was very quiet. He gobbled 2 times on the limb, gobbled once off the limb, and never made another noise. So after this is done, I'm gonna go back out there and see if I can kinda catch him in passing again, but at least it sounds like they're turning on. They're still henned up for sure. I mean, because I've seen the hens with them, but there was there was no way that bird yesterday at 1 o'clock didn't have a hen with him if he wasn't coming in because he was on fire, and you could just tell she was kind of pulling him further away. Especially, I'd start cutting up at him. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. The big thing with why are you messing with stuff?
Because it wasn't in the little thingy.
Okay, if you heard a random noise, that's Joe playing with his microphone holder.
It's because it wasn't in a groove.
So now you got it fixed?
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I was going to say was a lot of the days that I haven't been in the woods is due to weather. We've been getting some terrible weather. Like opening day was probably the first opening day I've missed in a long time. It's supposed to be terrible weather. We luckily didn't get it too bad, but it was heavy rain. A lot of places in South Mississippi got eat up by tornadoes. Tornadoes north
I
of
think
us.
Tylertown absolutely got obliterated.
Yeah, Tylertown, Mississippi got hit pretty hard. I mean, I saw a picture of one section where it actually two tornadoes cross the same path.
Seriously?
Yeah, they have one going to the left and one going from the right. So yeah, it was pretty bad, and we've probably had 2 or 3 of those days since opening day. So look, I love turkeys, and I've done some crazy stuff for them, but I don't plan on catching a tree in the face for a turkey.
And somehow our friend still went turkey hunting that morning.
Yeah, he also got trapped by flash flooding.
Seriously?
Yeah, I didn't tell you that?
No.
He was hunting the A section, and it rained so hard and so fast, he got trapped.
How did he get out?
Had to actually find the high side. Everywhere he turned, water kept coming. Couldn't get over the creek. He said it looked like a lake over there, and everything was flooded.
Seriously?
They ended up having to get out on somebody else's land. Yeah, they were on the phone with people trying to get out, but he didn't get out till 9:45 at night. Yeah,
Seriously?
they got out there at probably 1 or 2, and it was so bad. Yeah, they couldn't get out till almost 9:30.
He went in the morning.
He went in the morning and came back with a friend of his that afternoon. Yeah, he said it was a long day. It was miserable because I ended up finding his thermocell randomly out there when I was walking around looking for tracks.
Huh.
He's like, I wasn't worried about that. He's like, I was trying to get out of there and not have to swim.
Well, if he swam, that current would have taken him down.
Yeah, that's why he didn't do it. But so we've had some odd weather, a lot of rain, a lot of actually severe weather.
And that sort of weather only happens when Dad goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Like after Christmas when he goes to Texas.
No, I went to Alabama.
But sometimes you go to Texas.
That was in October.
Well, whenever he goes to Alabama,
it's always bad weather.
It's always bad weather.
Yeah, for last 3 years, it's been bad weather.
Every single time.
And I normally leave the day or 2 after Christmas and spend New Year's or whatever in Alabama hunting with a buddy of mine. And last 3 years in a row, it's been bad weather all 3 years. And I say bad, I'm talking like severe rain,
Squall lines.
squall lines, thunderstorms, tornadoes.
Which absolutely freaked me out.
Yep. But the thing is, it's also like tomorrow looks kind of like that. I don't know if it's going to be bad like that, but 90% chance of rain and thunderstorms.
Uh,
So, and then if you look at the weather forecast for the next week, it's heavy chances of rain most of the days, which kind of stinks because just now heard turkey gobble for the first time, and then it's just going to be consistent wet weather. The other part of that too is if we get crazy rain, we have a hard time getting to some of the places at camp because on the front side of our camp, we have to cross a bridge to get to most of it.
yeah.
And you get a flash flood and it just floods out. You're not getting across it. So it's pretty rough.
Like, we only have so much land now that when it flash floods, it mostly takes up our whole property.
And well, it doesn't take up the whole property, but it takes up access.
It takes up mostly the whole F5 section.
Oh,
like
access. You can't get to it,
and the field is covered.
Yeah, but that's not even part of the section. But anyway, we have, you know, I'm happy though. Like yesterday was a win for me. I didn't get to look at a turkey, but just to hear he got. I think I counted. It's like keeping track is 17 times in the morning and like 15 to 20 times in the afternoon. So that was a win for me. We got some stuff coming up, or I do. I head out to Florida mid-April, so April 15th or 16th, I'll head to Florida, and we'll be full blown into baseball season by then. But I won't miss any games. I'm going after the game. I still got to figure out when I'm going to get to Kansas. I got to put in for the Montana elk and deer hunt before the 1st of April. So got that coming up. Once we get on some birds, or once I really hear some more birds, I'll get Joe out there. He doesn't like to come if it's kind of boring right now.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I haven't seen any snakes yet.
We saw one.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That was a little bitty black snake. But
it was brown.
Okay. Well, it's full on tick season. I've already pulled 3 ticks off of me. Mosquitoes are starting to get up pretty good yesterday. So it's starting to feel like turkey season, minus the poisonous snakes. When those come out, I know it's turkey season.
Yeah, one time he had like 4 or 3 of them cornering him.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say corner me. I was trying to get the goblin turkey, and there were cottonmouths sitting in the sun. It was 3 or 4 of them directly between me and the turkeys. So I had to backtrack and go around them. So yeah, we got some of that stuff coming up. Got some meat processing coming up.
Yep.
What do you have on your agenda?
Baseball. More baseball card and football card openings.
Yeah, you're just full send on baseball right now, huh?
Football and baseball.
No, I'm just talking about playing baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing some catching drills. Joe got a new catcher's mitt earlier this season. Been trying to get that broken in.
And it's pretty much broken in.
Not really. Close, but not really.
It's better than that other glove.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I think that's about it. Do you think of anything else?
Not really.
You ain't even been playing guitar lately.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta play some guitar. You have been sewing. You've been crafting a little.
Playing football in the front yard and stuff.
Playing football. You've been reading a book about Michelangelo for school.
Yeah.
We
do a thing called Faces of History, and I am Michelangelo.
Yep. So you get to talk about the artist. Is that your end of the year program? Is that when you do that? No, that's just part of. So. That's just part of school.
Yes. Okay. We line up in the hallway, and we have buttons above our heads, and people press them, and then we start talking.
Okay. I remember that. You've done that before.
Yeah, and I would always miss. I haven't done it before.
I've seen it. You haven't done it, but I've seen it.
But I always tease the people, and I would press the button, then I would press the button again to shut it off, and then I'll press it again to cut it on, and then press it again to cut it off, and then just keep doing that.
That sounds rough. So yeah, my day is I'm gonna go back out there and see if I can get a turkey to gobble. Hopefully, next episode we'll talk about all the we'll talk about the or lack thereof. I think Joe may go to his grandparents today. He always asks me. He has more fun there than he does here. Yeah,
we take walks. Try to take 2 walks a day. I ride my bikes because they live out in the country and almost in the middle of nowhere. And so they have a long driveway, and if you walk it 3 times, it's almost a mile.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Well, maybe 1 mile.
I lived there most of my life. I never knew that.
Yeah, and one time you were a dummy, and in the middle of a hurricane, when it stopped, you were in the eye. you walked down the whole entire driveway and it started raining again. You had to haul it back to the house.
That wasn't just a hurricane. That was Hurricane Katrina. That was a big hurricane.
Yeah, and you were a dummy to do that.
I was 19. Yeah, I was
but
I was
why
19.
would you do that?
Why do you want to go see? Because like we do not live close to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but
No.
Katrina did come over us, and when it hit us, there was still 100+ mile an hour winds. So I know the coast, coast was way worse. We didn't have a lot of damage, but it's kind of like Armageddon because the power went out for 2 or 3 weeks where we are, and it takes us 3 hours to get to the coast. So yeah, that was a interesting time for a lot of people. It was a terrible time for a lot of people too.
So on Friday and Saturday night, my papa plays a video game with his brothers, and sometimes I play. Well, I pretty much play every time. But then we also do baseball. We play football. I sew. I make stuff. I play Black Ops.
Yeah, Joe likes to play first-person shooter games, as they're called.
Yeah, I love Black Ops. And
you of course we've talked about it. You play Hunter Call of the Wild.
Oh yeah, Hunter Call of the Wild, Remy Warren. I haven't played that in a while. Ever since I saw Remy Warren, I haven't played it.
Yeah, you should. That would be fun.
And so yeah.
Yeah.
And also they have a lot of deer on their property, but they are against killing stuff.
No, they're not against killing stuff. I mean, Mama and Papa, they love all the deer meat that we do and all that. They just don't.
I said I need to get my new compound bow next time and come out there.
Their philosophy is they're not going to process it like we do. So, like Papa told you, and like I told you, we don't kill anything we don't eat.
Well, we would eat it.
We'd have to go out there and do it. They're not going to do it. They are not anti-killing anything. No. They're just not going to do it. Mm-hmm. They're very pro. I think we gave them almost 100 pounds of deer meat this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're very pro that. They're not going to kill it because they don't want to mess with it or not. That's why they got us. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I think that's all I got. You got anything fun? Anything on that little brain here?
Not really.
He gave me a dirty look. Very dirty look. Well, I guess go ahead and wrap this up.
Well, yesterday I did. Me and Mom did actually go to the reservoir, and we kind of threw baseball and threw football and played fetch with our dog.
Okay. And I was in the turkey woods.
Yes.
I was having more fun. I only wish. I hope you give me an hour and I'll be hearing that. And then I'll call you at about 12 and I'll be like, hey, I got a turkey. And I'll be like, all right, yay.
You mean more of 3 or something?
I don't know. I would, at this stage of the game, I feel like a gobble is a win. The next win for me would be to just see a bird.
And then to go.
Yeah. I'm going to take it in stages. Right now, I'm riding high on the gobbles because it's been so long. But they've heard enough about that. So why don't you go ahead and give me this fancy joke you told me you have for everybody?
It's not fancy. It's very, very dumb, and it's a request from my grandmother, from my mama and papa.
Okay, well, give it to me.
What did the raindrop say to the other raindrop?
What?
I'm going down. I don't know why you're laughing at it.
To make you feel better.
Please don't, because I also hate that joke.
You're going down?
Yes.
Okay, well, you've had better.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, even 7, 8, 9 was better than that.
That wasn't even my joke.
I know, but it was still better than that. So anyway, that's all I got. What do you have to say?
Catch you on the next one.
And do what?
Like and subscribe and hit that notification
If you do like it, try to share it. We're having fun doing this. So share it to somebody and give us a like. I've also heard, I've never had a review before. I don't think we have any reviews. All the podcasts we listen to ask for reviews where you go in and write how much you like the podcast.
Oh yeah, please leave a review.
Yeah, I've never looked. I don't think we have a review because we don't have that many people listening.
No.
But a review would be fun.
Yeah.
If it's bad, don't write it. No, just kidding. You can write about how bad Joe's jokes are.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, that's all we got. We'll talk to y'all later.
Catch you on the next one.